We'll go ahead and call the Marshall County Special Fiscal Court meeting to order, December 20th, 2022. Because we have a deliberation for bids for the NRC water projects going on right now downstairs, I asked that we just recess for a quick second so we can get this done.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We had bid openings this morning. Justin, if you're ready, this is for the NRCS water projects for our creeks debris cleanup. We've been looking at this for several months. Just kind of give an overview as far as the bids that were collected and the deliberation. I'll have some comments on that.
So for the NRCS stream cleanup, there's 17 total sites. There were two bids, however. One of the requests for proposals was for Lee Bird Road by itself, and the other proposal was for the other 16 sites. So 4 bids were received for the Lee Bird Road site. 6 bids were received for the large group of 16 sites. After deliberation of the board, Titan Services as the recommendation to the fiscal court for the Lee Bird Road site, and Phillip Farms is the recommendation to the fiscal court for the large group of 16 sites. The combined bid prices for these two contractors does fall under the total scoped amount from NRCS. So there would not have to be any request for an increase on the cost of that. But that is the recommendation of the board from the committee, and the judge has a couple notes on.
Correct. I asked Justin to give a description, but I'm obviously going to go a little bit more in detail. The bids that actually came in, we had 6 bids, and B. Brock, A1, Jay's Electric, Honer, Phillips, and Titan. When we went through the score sheet, pretty much all these companies have experience with debris removal. Now, some of the companies are currently working disaster in eastern Kentucky and some of our sister counties. So we looked at the possibility of there being an issue with them trying to take on additional work. One of the things that I looked at was if we can select a local contractor, then that's obviously what I was looking for. And Titan is a local company. Phillips is a local company. Jay's Electric is a local company. But when you look at the amount of monies that we had to work with, and you've got one project, Lee Bird Road, that has about $70,000 committed for that project, and then the other projects combined makes up the additional monies. So trying to make these projects fit that $612,722, Phillips and Titan, if we give Titan the smaller project for $70,000, which is a local company, Phillips the larger project, which is a local company. When I say local, is both from our county and our region. That's really what the decision came down to. But all of these companies have experience with debris removal. So if there's any questions from the court, obviously if we tried to use Jay's Electric for an example, with another company, I look at my notes here, Jay's Electric with Phillips, that's over the $612,000 combined. We would have to go back through the process to request monies from NRCS, which takes more time. It just I didn't feel that was a position that we are in when we're trying to get these creeks cleaned up and get our creeks restored back to some type of original condition. So that's the basis behind it. Definitely would like to hear comments from the court as far as the bids.
Was it a unanimous decision in there, or what's the
Well, when you go off the
scoring?
scoring sheet, you've got experience, which they all have experience. And then the proposal work plan, NRCS sets that proposal work plan, so they're using NRCS's work plan. It has to meet that work plan. So they were scored pretty much the same, 35 out of 35, because of the work plan that NRCS puts in place. As far as experience, every one of them have experience. And so we gave them all the same rating for the experience. It came down to, the amount of monies that they bid for the projects. Now, I will say again, B. Brock and Horner, they currently have projects going on, and that I don't know if that would be spreading them out. Our projects, taking longer, so that's why I went with Phillips and Titan.
So were these two the low bids?
On which project?
Either of them, or both of them, actually.
The combined total low bid was B. Brock. That was $398,000. The individual total, which is $70,000. Do you have that, Justin? I didn't write that down.
B-Rock was the lowest bidder, I believe by $1,000 on the small site, Lee Bird. And then on the group sites, they were low bidder by, I think, $60,000 or somewhere around there. So B-Brock was the lowest bidder on both. They're out of Eastern Kentucky. They're working on the flood relief there. And I believe they also will be awarded Hopkins County work for the same stream removal.
Yeah.
Going on at the same time. So that was
Gotcha.
taken into account by the committee.
Thank you.
You need these separate? Since they're two different.
Let's go ahead and do them separate. The recommendation is for the larger project is Phillips for 400. Justin, do you have the exact amount? I did a rough 486. Sorry.
I do on my computer.
Computer's downstairs. Okay. Well,
486,702.
There we go.
702. And then Titan, I did 70,000.
69,735.
735. Okay, so Commissioner Collins, to answer your question, those are the numbers. Phillips would be the larger project, and Titan would be the smaller project.
Do you need them separate?
Please.
Okay. I move we accept the recommendation of the committee for Phillips Farm for the 16-site project.
That's $486,702.
486,702.
Is there a motion and a second? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Then I move that we take the committee's recommendation for the Titan Services for Lee Bird Road, $69,735.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Appreciate it, Justin. NRCS, thank you. I guess you'll be back in touch with us, so thank you. I appreciate the contractors. I know there were 6 of you. Appreciate y'all putting in. All right, we'll go to item B under guests. EM Director Whipple Walker. Is he here? Morning, sir.
I wanted the court to be aware that the DES repeater has been in marginal condition for quite some time, and it's been completely non-operational for a while too. We now have it working, but who knows how long this is gonna last. It's a Quintar, a Motorola Quintar T3565. It's way past its end of life date, and replacement parts are no longer available. This repeater is used to trigger the outdoor warning sirens. It's used for rescue squad operations, and the nuisance code enforcement officer uses it for his communications. I have a quote from Mobile Communications of America for a Motorola GTR 8000 state-of-the-art mixed mode repeater. It's P25 and analog for a cost of $27,264.17. I've applied for and received approval through the Kentucky Emergency Management Additional Fundings Grant, pending review by the Kentucky Wireless Interoperability Executive Committee for a grant that will cover half of the cost of this. Court will be responsible for $13,632.09. This grant includes all the components, including tower work. I propose that this new repeater be installed on the Board of Education tower. That would put the tower at the road department one step closer to being able to be removed. I know it's been wanted to be removed for a long time. Spoken to the Federal Communications Commission about this move, and was advised that this is considered a major modification of the license, and was put in touch with a frequency coordinator. I've reached out to them, the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials, and received a quote for them for $770 to facilitate this license change. And they sent me a form, and I filled it out and returned it to them, and they didn't give me any indication that there would be a problem. I'd like for the court to go ahead and approve money for this project so that we can move forward with it as soon as possible. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Whipple. Any questions on the rescue squad repeater?
I'll make a motion to table this.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Leonard Harp. Morning, sir.
Judge Neal, commissioners, dignitaries, and audience. I'm with the Marshall County Veterans Support Group, which entails of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans, the American Legion, the Purple Heart Association, the POWMIA Association, and the Marshall County Veterans Van. Now, I am the coordinator for the Marshall County Veterans Van. We have approximately 6,000 plus veterans in Marshall County. Right now, I have got 65 veterans that we transport to Marion, Paducah VA, Mayfield VA, any doctor, any hospital, any clinics within, from Marion as far as north to Hoptown, Hopkinsville, Paris, Tennessee, Nashville, and there and abouts. My job classification is I'm the coordinator. The veterans call me, and I try to schedule a ride for them. We have 2 vans in Marshall County that we transport people with. And it has got to be very taxing. Last year to date as of last Friday, we have made 222 trips around the area. We have drove 26,210 miles, and we have put in 221 hours of travel time. That's the driver, plus the veteran and everything. I just wanted to give an update from what last year, we had 202 trips total. This year, we're gonna have about 240. We had 22,000 miles last year. We're gonna have close to probably 28,000. We had 214 hours last year. This year, we're gonna have probably 250. I'm looking for drivers. You do not have to be a veteran. VA has lifted the restrictions on the COVID shots, so you don't have to have the COVID shots. I'm looking for veterans, men and women that are not veterans that would love to drive and spend some time on the road. But just wanted to give an update of what has happened over the past year. And if there's any veterans here that needs a card, I've got some to give you if you want them. We have, like I said, we've got 2 vans. We've got one van that'll hold 4, or you can pop the 2 seats up and it'll accommodate a wheelchair. The other van will take 4 people in it. It's strictly a 4-passenger van, but they're on the road all the time. Matter of fact, both of them are running today, running anywhere from 5 to 8 trips a week. And I've got 14 drivers, and some of us is driving twice a week. We're all at that middle age group, the mid-70s. We've got doctor's visits, we're sick, we got different things going on, so, you know, I push out, I'm looking for drivers. I'd be willing to take anybody. All you gotta do is pass the physical and everything, and then go through orientation, fingerprints, badge work, and all that.
Leonard, if somebody eventually watches this and wants to be a driver, what number or how do they get in contact with you?
They can contact me. I got cards right here they can contact me by.
Okay.
Have
You
some of
got-
those in, with Corey or something?
We can.
Do what?
Is
Could
that,
leave them with Corey for,
is that your
I'll
number?
leave them all with her. I got plenty.
so middle-aged is mid-70. That makes me feel young. Thanks, Leonard. Appreciate that.
So the action,
An update on what's been going on in the past year. Any questions? Anybody want to volunteer? Anybody want to be drafted?
Send the notebook around, Leonard.
yeah.
Well, that's all I got then.
Okay. Appreciate it, Leonard.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for all you do.
Leonard.
Okay, bye-bye.
Leonard's number is 270-853-5372.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Under correspondence, item A, November personnel changes.
November personnel changes, Stacy Collins, deputy clerk, effective 11/1/22 at 19:30 an hour. Terry Stringer, dispatcher, effective 11/1/22 at 17.75 an hour. Terry Stringer, dispatcher, termed 11/10/22. Amy Seisenberger, dispatcher, termed 11/8/22. Katie Malone, dispatcher, termed 11/11/22. Meredith Lewis, dispatcher, termed 11/11/22. Katie Malone, dispatcher, part-time, effective 11/14/22. Meredith Lewis, dispatcher, part-time, effective 11/14/2022. Vicky Sprazier, deputy clerk, termed 11/18/2022. Brett Edwards, part-time, SRO, effective 1/28/22 at 25.75 an hour.
All right. Item B, facility audit for the judicial building. Is there any questions? Y'all should have received it.
Do they, that adjustment is more money to us, or is that just,
I apologize, the county attorney was asking me a question. Can you
Uh,
tell me
well,
what you're asking me about?
the ALC audit, that 20, whatever?
You're asking about how much of an adjustment it is from the prior year?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I can't remember, is that an adjustment like they
They do an estimate every year.
overpaid or underpaid, or what's,
So they do an estimate every year of what they think it's going to cost to operate that facility. So on up, our actual cost came in over. So yeah, I mean, their estimate was under.
gotcha,
And that will go into how they pay us in the future.
for
years.
23 or whatever? Yeah, okay.
Yep. And so we're always going to lag a little bit on catching up with some of our upfront costs there.
Yeah, they'll base that reimbursement for 23 based on expenses in 2022.
And-
So you're always a year behind, like she said.
And was some of that was denied?
Yeah,
Did they
I-
end up actually doing something else, or it just happens to be the same company? They denied
Yes.
partially?
so
Paid.
the threshold for a non-recurring project is $2,500. So anything over $2,500 gets sent to the AOC, they approve it, and then we move forward with that work. They told me because it was the same company that we should have sent in for a non-recurring project, but they were all separate. As you can see the description on the
Yeah.
right, they're all separate units. So I viewed them as separate projects. They didn't. That was the only difference.
Okay. Do you need a motion to approve or accept
They
it?
just accepted.
Accept.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, King Management Contract. The contract states 30 days notice, and Greg has given his 30 days notice back in November 28th. So his term, if you will, his contract will terminate the end of this month. I just want to read his letter to us. Judge Executive Kevin Neal, thank you for the opportunity to work with the Marsh County Fiscal Court. King Management LLC would like to give notice to terminate the service contract with Marsh County Fiscal Court dated February 15th, 2022. Per this contract, the 30-day notice is given with the termination date of December 31, 2022. Additional work necessary for the transition to KOED's new director will be done on as-needed voluntary basis. He just goes on the site, actually, the segment of the contract for early termination. Collaborating closely with the Marsh County IDA Chairman, Dennis Smith, we were able to successfully accomplish the below projects and funding. Regional Development Agency Assistance Program, RDAP, received $155,128 for the IDA. TVA Invest Prep 2022 awarded $250,000 in TVA funds for the alternate entrance engineering. 2022 Delta Regional Authority, DRA, 100% grant approved for $527,000 to complete Southwest 1 alternate entrance. And Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, the PDI EDF grant for the Pad Ready site and Southwest 1 roadway extension, completed the expenditure tracking and reimbursement submittals for the project. Confirmed the Marsh County Fiscal Court received $285,241. Thank you again for the opportunity to work with Marsh County Fiscal Court. Greg Walls.
Think he's here today, but thank you to Greg for filling in. He did a fantastic job.
Item D, just to give you an update on the national opioid litigation. We had received funds from the national opioid litigation that's been taking place for quite some time. So I asked Erica to just identify the dollar amounts that were deposited into an account that we have specifically for those monies.
Okay, just this past week, we've received two payments. The first was $187,027.82. The other was $88,313.21.
Give me that. Slow down. 187.
187-027-82, and the other was 88-313.21.
So, question for you, because we're not at the point of knowing what we're going to do with that. I went to the meeting that they had in Paducah, and it was very informative, and I suggested to them, you need to have something with all the fiscal courts and go through this, how do we, some different options to spending this money, but are we gonna set that aside separately until we,
Yeah, so as of right now, we're within the recommendations for what to do with this money, which is its own fund with its own separate bank account.
Okay.
So that's currently how it stands. It's
Okay.
also not amended into our budget. So unless the future court, has plans to spend that money prior to the end of the fiscal year, then we'll make sure that we budget in the following year for that money. It's earning the same interest rate that our other bank accounts earn. So,
so do we suspect that this is the 18-year payout then? Or 20-year, whatever it was? Is this the amount you think that 260,000?
There should be more coming.
the document I saw had some,
Well, I'm saying per year, though. We're not gonna receive $260,000 a year for 18
A
years.
lot. I don't know that
Is
it's
it?
going to be this much every year, but it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of money.
Okay.
the document I saw had 4 years worth of, the first 4 years worth of amounts.
Oh, it
But-
did? And
but
are
yes,
they-
And I can forward that to you. It was
Yeah,
through
that'd be
email.
good.
With these amounts?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it had separated out some others, but beyond that, there wasn't information on the form that I have received.
Because it's still not, the settlement is still not
Still not over.
finished. Yeah, there are a couple
They
of
just tried a case
large,
somewhere, I can't remember where they tried a case and got a pretty solid verdict.
yeah, okay. Okay, and we don't have a time period for, like ARPA, that we have to spend it?
Not
Do
to
we?
my knowledge.
I don't think there's any kind of time period on this.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
earmarked for a specific purpose.
And it's in a separate
It's
account?
Restricted.
Yeah.
to
Right,
What it can be spent on.
yeah. We're drawing interest on it.
It's drawing our bank
Whatever
rate
it is,
interest,
yeah.
yes. So that could potentially be something to come back to in future, investing that for a higher interest return.
Okay.
Thank you,
And
Harry.
you'll send on that document with the
I
4
surely
years?
will.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, old business, approve the minutes December 6th, 8:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. meetings.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, I brought back to the court, this is the holiday schedule. Basically, Good Friday, I had put on there National Day of Prayer, but leaving it up to the court as far as what they want to do for 2023.
Well, I move that we adopt the state schedule with the addition of Tater Day.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, ordinance 2022-09 amended ABC ordinance, second reading. Amended ordinance number 2022-09, an ordinance amending the ordinance relating to the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverage in Marsh County, Kentucky, whereas a change was made during the last session of the General Assembly regarding age of employees who may be involved in serving alcohol at licensed establishments, whereas the Fiscal Court of Marsh County, Kentucky wishes to amend its ordinance to be in compliance therewith. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marsh County, Kentucky, the ordinance number 2022-09 is amended as follows. 10.039, conditions, prohibitions, and restrictions. Subsection K, no license shall be knowingly employ in connection with his or her business any person who, subsection 1, has been convicted of any felony within the last 2 years. Subsection 2, has been twice convicted of any misdemeanor or offense directly or indirectly attributed to the use of intoxicating liquors within the last 2 years. Strike out the old language of Section 3, add new subsection language 3. Within 2 years prior to the date of his or her employment, has had any county license under this ordinance revoked for cause. Subsection 4, age requirements for employees of licensed establishments shall conform to the state law. Second reading, December 20th, 2022.
Move we approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, ordinance 2022-10, budget amendment, second reading.
Ordinance 2022-10, an ordinance related to the annual budget and amendment thereof. Whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds, now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 2022-2023 is amended to A, increase the following revenue accounts: state election reimbursement, $12,614.88. Animal shelter cash balance, July 1, $22,318.63. Federal grants, $507,618, for a total increase revenue accounts of $542,551.51. B, increase expenditure accounts as follows: election officers, $12,614.88. Animal shelter donation supplies, $22,318.63. Lease payment CFSB, $507,618, for a total increase of expenditure accounts of $542,551.51. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes. Approved by the Marshall County Fiscal Court the 6th day of December 2022. Kevin Neal, Judge, County Judge Executive. Approved as to form and classification the 16th day of December 2022 by Robert O. Brown, State Local Finance Officer. This amendment to the budget ordinance was adopted by the Marshall County Fiscal Court, Kentucky on this 20th day of December 2022.
Move we approve the budget amendment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go to new business, item A, Sheriff's 2022 budget. Is there any questions?
Move we approve. Or accept, or whatever. You
Motion to
accept?
accept. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, board appointments. This is for the Tourism Board. Heather Meeks and Tristan Smith will be reappointed, be my reappointments to the board.
Is Heather Meeks a reappointment?
Her term is showing to expire.
Okay. I thought it was another, I thought it was like someone else. Maybe she misunderstood.
She's showing the terms that are going to be expiring.
Is it
Tristan
the
Smith.
chamber, which he's the chamber, right? And then what's the other one? Lodging? Well, she had told me it was a reappointment of, I thought it was a light, I wrote her name down.
Kimberly Lightfoot.
Kimberly Lightfoot. Is she, yeah, I thought. She had sent me an email.
We don't show her as a current board member.
Oh, I'm wondering if that's a different. Let me send her something. She's not here, I know.
She's looking for that. We can table this let's table this and we'll come back to it.
Table. Vote to table it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to transfers.
I don't know that moving on to me will buy you very much time. There are no transfers. So we don't need any approved.
Thank you, Erica.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
That was easy. Item D, is there any reason to deny payment of the bills and claims? Hearing none, let the clerk record that the bills and claims are to be paid.
Can we approve one and table the other until we're, Confirm.
Treston, I know is.
Yeah, I know
a board
that
member,
is.
So we can go ahead and do Treston. That'd be my reappointment.
okay, second.
Who made the motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Move we table the other appointment until we find out. Yeah, let's do that.
Table it till next meeting.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we do that, real quick, I wanted to present this to Judge Neal in recognition for your ongoing commitment and dedicated service to the citizens of Marshall County as judge executive from 2015 through 2022. So I just wanted to do that in public and say thank you.
And real
like
quick,
that.
I have one for
Write it up.
Justin as well, even though he doesn't. But same thing, says Marshall County Fiscal Court, Justin Lamb, Commissioner, in recognition for your ongoing commitment and dedicated service to the citizens of Marshall County, 2019 to 2020. Of course, it was before 2019, but as an elected official.
You made Johnny Carson.
You can now.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.